From the Catasauqua High School Gymnasium, RCN Sports presents Colonial League High School basketball action. The Crusaders of Notre Dame, they are 16-2 overall, tied for first place in the East Division of the Colonial League with a 12-2 record. They will take on the hosting Rough Riders of Catasauqua. They are 12-6 overall, 10-4, and in first place in the Western Division of the Colonial League Conference. Good evening and welcome everyone. Chris Michael, along with Dennis Lott. Glad you could join us for Game 1 of tonight's high school basketball doubleheader on RCN Sports. And Dennis, quite possibly this could be a matchup of teams we will see in both the Colonial League playoffs next in 2 weeks and also down the road in the district playoffs.
So you wonder, Chris, what each of these two teams are going to show tonight. Could they be holding that trump card for when it really counts in 2 weeks or possibly 3 weeks? That's what I want to see tonight.
Right now, both Caddy and Notre Dame are 1-2 in terms of the 2A district standings. We'll take a look at the starting lineups first for visiting Notre Dame. We've seen them a couple of times this year. Pat Boyle has tinkered a little bit with the rotation, but he said, right now I'm very comfortable with our rotation, and we're at full strength in terms of our starting five. Joe Giangiobi, who was out a couple weeks ago, is back off the ankle injury.
He's the key, too. Inside, he's definitely the key, and tonight, look for them to get the ball inside to combat Caddy's lack thereof of the height.
We'll take a look at the Caddy starting lineup, and of course Corey Huerta earlier scoring his 1,000th point for Catasauqua, but they really have multiple weapons. Josh Case has proven the ability to shoot from the outside, and Todd Dawson has really stepped up this year as well.
Yeah, Dawson really is the one to me. I believe, checking the statistics, there were only 2 games that he didn't have double figures in scoring. Primarily a bench guy coming off the bench last year. This year, he's really stepped his game up. And Case primarily was a perimeter guy. This year, he's doing it from the inside with his rebounding and his block shots.
2 longtime head coaches. You'll see both of those gentlemen on the RCN Sports Talk show coming up next Thursday. That should be a great show. These guys have a lot of solid wins and a lot of great stories about Colonial League basketball over the last 30 years combined between these two people. We'll have the opening tip between Caddy and Notre Dame coming up next on RCN Sports.
Hey, basketball fans, if you love dealing with a winning team, head to the leader, Kleckner's in Whitehall and Emmaus for the fabulous GE tip-off sale. Browse our huge selection of GE ranges, GE refrigerators, GE dishwashers, GE washers, and GE dryers. Now at Kleckner's, get great savings plus free delivery, free haul away of old, a full parts department and their own factory trained techs. Stop in today. See why Kleckner's has been serving the Lehigh Valley since 1945. 2 locations, Kleckner's, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street, Emmaus.
Since the Overhead Door Company makes the original overhead door, the people who install and service them take them pretty seriously. Call or log on for the overhead door dealer nearest you.
He doesn't report to a management committee. He doesn't report to a marketing department. He reports to Mary Johnson's arthritis, to Sally Wickstrom's upset stomach, and to Greg Porter's poison oak. He's your family prescription center pharmacist. He lives and works right here in town, so that means he reports to you. Call Family Prescription Center today at 866-0709.
Taking the time to care, Family Prescription Center.
Welcome back to Catasauqua, the high school gym. Jim Giannabelle is the director of the Caddy Pep Band here in attendance, trying to spur on the crowd. The Rough Riders, an important Colonial League game, but a point that Dennis mentioned before our break, Notre Dame and Caddy will see each other at least, in all probability, one more time. Caddy needs one more win or Northern Lehigh loss in their remaining 4 ball games to clinch the West Division and a berth in the Colonial League playoffs. Notre Dame, of course, will clinch whether they be first or second in the East Division, but Pat Boyle was talking about the district standings because the number 1 team will not only get a bye week when it comes to the district playoffs, but in terms of the matchups, they will probably be matched up with a team from outside the Lehigh Valley Conference. And that's a huge advantage because Salisbury and Caddy are both very strong teams that you don't want to face your first round of the playoffs.
You wouldn't think so, but you really don't know how those teams outside of your conference are. There are, with Tri-Valley and Schuylkill Haven and Minersville, you don't know the schools that they play against in league play.
There's going to be a special ceremony following the national anthem here at the Catasauqua High School gym. Up first, the national anthem. We're going to see quite a bit of Notre Dame coming up the next week. We'll see them on Friday as they take on Slaters of Bangor live on Friday night. And then next week we'll see the rematch of Notre Dame Wilson next Friday. This past Saturday at the 25th annual Lehigh Valley Boys Soccer Scholar Athlete Banquet, Catas senior Adam Benditas was selected as the winner of the 2008 Lehigh Valley Boys Soccer Scholar Award. Adam was selected from a pool of 40 candidates from schools in the Lehigh Valley Conference, Mountain Valley Conference, and the surrounding District 11 area. Of course, he's a starting guard for the Caddy Rough Riders basketball team. Adam is also ranked first out of 128 in his class with a grade point average of 98.16. Adam was named to the Colonial League First Team Boys Soccer Team as both a junior and this is senior season, and named to the second team as a sophomore. This past year, he was selected as one of 2 Colonial League All-State representatives. This past May, Adam was the recipient of the Good Citizenship Award of the Union League of Philadelphia. This award recognizes students in and around the Philadelphia region for outstanding scholarship, athletics, and citizenship. In September, Adam accepted a soccer scholarship to attend James Madison University. So congratulations to Adam Despidis on this great award. They've been doing an outstanding job for Eric Snyder this season. We talked about Huerta and Josh Case and Todd Dawson taking over the scoring load. Despidis is really counted on for his passing ability and his defense.
No question. The thing that really stands out is being number 1 in his class. His father is the soccer coach here at Catasauqua, and he follows 2 older brothers who also were great players. They scored more than he did, but he is 3rd all time on Caddy's list as far as scoring goals. And to go to James Madison, what a fine university, and they got a fine individual there in Adam Bastidas.
Ended his high school soccer career with 78 goals, 48 assists. Now the starting lineups. First for the Crusaders. Starting in the backcourt, number 4, Andrew Mitzak, 6-foot senior, averaging 6.2 a ball game. Their man in the middle, Joe Giangiobi, a 6'3 junior, averaging 13.1. Their power forward, Andrew Kohler, 6'5 junior, wears number 30. He's averaging 8.3 points a ball game. Their other guard, Max Hughes, 6'1 senior, averaging a team-high 14.6. And the other forward, Nick Piazza, 6'2 senior, averaging 4.3. Pat Boyle in his 13th season as head coach, 246 victories, 105 defeats. Now the Rough Riders starters, Adam Bastidas in the backcourt, 5'8 senior, averaging 3.3. Joined in the backcourt by number 12, Corey Huerta, 5'5 senior, second on the team, averaging 14.8 a ball game. In the front court, Kevin Falco, 5'10 senior, averaging 5.8. The other forward, Josh Case, 6'5 junior, averaging a team-high 15.1. And Caddy's man in the middle, Todd Dawson, 6'1 senior, averaging 11.7 points a ball game. Eric Schneider, the head coach in his 17th season, 255 wins and 196 defeats.
Officiating tonight's contest, two Mountain League baseball veterans. On your left, Chris Mahalik, and on your right, Carl Rensheimer.
Chris was a heck of a pitcher, and you have quite a history of softball.
Rensheimer was the pitcher. Chris Mahalik was the third baseman. He played for Plunkett Millers.
I want to get at your softball exploits. We got to talk about that at some point.
We don't have time for that. Let's Colonial League.
Giangiobi and Case in the center circle, won by the Catasauqua Rough Riders. There's Todd Dawson with the basketball, matched up against Giangiobi. And that will be one of the more interesting matchups because Caddy's big men can step outside. That's why I'm a little concerned about how their big men on the perimeter would guard. First miss of the ball game. Notre Dame secures the rebound. Up top was Andrew Mitzak, who had a heck of a ball game when we saw him against Wilson. Giangiobi, who was not in that ball game the first time against the Warriors, gets the deuce inside and will go to the line for one more.
Most important thing about this replay we're going to see is the first foul drawn on Todd Dawson. Caddy does lack some inside depth. Dawson is their main inside player, and he picks up an early one.
Notre Dame early 3-0 lead. This is Dawson going to work against Giangiobi. Shot a little jump ball pass actually to John Case, who lays it in. Case, a guy we'll see a lot on the perimeter, but also can step up with that big 6'5 frame and score inside.
Eric said before the game that Josh is having a little bit of trouble with the three-point shot this year.
Giangiobi from the baseline comes up empty. Dawson the rebound. Giangiobi scored 20 points on Friday night. Huerta from the outside. First triple for him.
Nice secondary break. Got a nice open shot to Huerta, one of their main three-point threats.
Leads the team 47 triples on the season. Tough shot by Hughes. Off his fingertips. And now Mitzak chases down the floorboard. All alone is Hughes from three-point land, and down it goes. His 23rd three-pointer of the season. Quick basket the other way by Dawson inside.
Caddy looking to push the ball, and that's Notre Dame style. Now we have a turnover.
There's Dawson leading the Caddy charge, and he cannot finish. Rebound chased down by Max Hughes. Giangiobi, who can also shoot a little bit from the outside, goes inside, and Mitzak's shot is blocked. Case fakes the three, puts it on the floor, and a foul, no shot attempt. First foul on the Crusaders. And it's on Andrew Mitzak.
We talked coming in about what these teams might not want to show each other. Caddy going to a man-to-man defense. They're normally a zone team.
From the outside, Falco misses the triple, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Playing man-to-man against Notre Dame is going right into their style. That's how they play. Pat Boyle basketball is man-to-man defense.
Dawson and Giangiobi going at it underneath. They're going to whistle Dawson with a push underneath. That's his second, team's second. And for the moment, Eric Schneider will stick with his big man. Dawson pays off right away as he gets the turnover. Charges in. And he's a little lucky. That's going to go against Notre Dame. Otherwise, that would have been his third.
No question about that, because we get a look at this. Watch Dawson's right arm. That's extended. And he goes in and draws that contact. If Giangiobi had better position, that's his third foul. Caddy's in big trouble right in the first quarter.
Instead, Giangiobi picks up his first, team's second. Huerta open, sinks it from the corner, his second triple. Coming off a 6-point performance against Peaburg, he already has 6. Just 3 minutes into this ball game. Giangiobi again trying to post up Dawson with another steal. Dawson again is going to try to take it in himself. That was partially blocked. Piazza came from behind, got a hand on that. Stepping up here is Bastidas missing the 3 ball. Notre Dame the rebound. Misak poked away by Huerta. The ball goes out of bounds, and Notre Dame will have it underneath their own basket. Huerta shooting 33% from beyond the arc. He's 2 of 2 in the early going. Quick catch and shoot by Nick Piazza, his first field goal. Eddie with the lead and ball. Poked away. Kohler did not like the numbers, hands it off to Hughes, and back one more time for Kohler, who sinks it from the baseline. Notre Dame 4 of 6 shooting from the floor in the first half of quarter number 1.
Kohler, I feel, is the unsung hero of this team. I mean, when you talk outside, you're talking about Hughes and Dave Salerno coming off the bench. And inside, obviously, is Giangiobi. But Kohler is the guy that does the little things, and he's a fine athlete.
Dawson now 1 of 4 from the floor. Kohler thought about the 3, now goes inside to Mitzak. And the rebound pulled down by Falco. Huerta through traffic. Now Dawson from the outside. And the rebound by Hughes. Kohler puts it on the floor in traffic. Case right there defensively to get the rebound. Bastidas running the baseline, gets it to go, his first field goal. And Notre Dame calls a timeout. 3 minutes, 5 seconds left. Caddy with the early 12-10 lead.
As a woman, the health issues you face will change over a lifetime. Whether you're an expectant mother, caring for a family member, or battling osteoporosis, fast, accurate information is vital in making the best decision. RMRI of Bethlehem is a recognized leader in imaging with radiologists and technologists that make you feel confident, knowing privacy is guaranteed and results will see to your doctor right away. Radiology and MRI of Bethlehem.
Back at the Caddy gym, Rough Riders with the early 2-point lead. Notre Dame with the basketball. Giangiobi trying to post up, and that is something that Pat Boyle wanted to see early and often in this ballgame.
It's a great strategy, especially with Dawson's aggressiveness and the 2 early fouls.
Dawson dishing off that time to Falco. He cannot get an open view. The Caddy will have it back. Our first substitution of the ballgame, David Salerno. Junior guard checks in. 6.8 points a ball game, coming off a 19-point performance against Pius X on Saturday, in which he converted 5 3-pointers. Huerta misses from long range. The rebound by Salerno. Salerno leads Notre Dame in 3-point shots made with 29. Hughes stepping up from 18 feet, his second basket.
Great inside-out play that time.
Huerta lost the handle, kicks it back nicely for an open Case. And that is his 28th three-pointer on the season. He averages 38% from beyond the arc. Salerno inside. Giangiobi got tied up with Dawson, no whistle. They go back inside to Kohler. Ball comes loose and stolen by Bastidas.
Caddy really showing some great aggression on the defensive end and offensively. They're pushing this basketball.
Dawson takes too many steps. And Notre Dame will have it back. Joe Teamy, 6'3" sophomore center in for Caddy, averaging 1.3 points a ball game. Along with Andrew Snyder. Andrew averaging 2.5 a ball game. Andrew, a 5'6" senior.
Fine long threat.
Snyder was trying to fight through a screen that was moving.
They picked up Bart Palumbo with the illegal screen, trying to set a double screen for a wide open shot, and Bart was moving.
Palumbo is one of the people that stepped in when Gene Giobbe was out for a couple weeks. Did a nice job in the post.
He's real aggressive, Chris. He's not afraid to bang the boards, and he's a tough kid.
Here's a freshman that has been drawing a lot of praise. Connor Hughes did a real good job as a freshman point guard. Playing JVs. Josh Case takes it down the lane. Layup is no good. Connor's playing in his first varsity game. And Pat Boyle wants to experiment with him a little bit, get his feet wet, and see how he does in this environment. And he very well may help the team come the postseason.
It's a perfect opportunity for him.
Case again from the outside, comes up short. And a rebound by Salerno. Snyder doing a good job of staying close to Salerno out in the wing. Approaching 30 seconds left, Salerno takes the three-point shot. Hughes the rebound, and then poked away by Keith Falco.
See Keith Falco's father here, the principal from Allen High School.
Salerno steps on the sideline, and Caddy will have it back and probably play for the final shot, leading by one.
I've noticed on out-of-bounds plays, Catasauqua has been going to a 2-3 zone. But the difference with this 2-3 zone is when the play gets put into when the ball gets put into the corner, they trap out of it. And that time they force the turnover.
Lawson comes back on for Caddy. James Leary, 5'9", senior guard, averaging 1.3. Checks in for Notre Dame. And Caddy is, in fact, playing for the final shot. This is Dawson playing with those two fouls. Dipping inside, nice pass to Case, draws the foul with 3.2 seconds left. And Case will go to the line. Case, one of the team's top free throw shooters at 74%.
Take a look at this. They tried to draw that third foul, and I'm not so sure they didn't have it there, but Dawson does get rid of it just in time, and Case gets fouled and goes for the two shots.
Caddy is a team 66% from the stripe as Case makes the first. Teamy back in for some offensive rebound potential. Second one is no good. Notre Dame, not much of a shot at the buzzer. And that will do it for the first quarter. Josh Case with 5 points in the first quarter. Caddy with a 2-point lead after one.
Since 1937, Walters Pharmacy has been making life easier for you. The name you trust most when you need your prescription filled. That's because getting your prescription right is our #1 priority. And only Walters Pharmacy delivers anywhere in Allentown for free. Our wide selection of health products and mobile equipment, as well as our convenient hours, make Walters Pharmacy the fast and convenient choice.
I went to Walters Pharmacy and they were able to supply all of my child's needed medications.
I call Walters Pharmacy for all my prescriptions and healthcare items and have them delivered to my door.
Walters Pharmacy in Allentown. Mark Mulchaney and Power Realty's sole mission is unprecedented real estate service. With an undying commitment to quality, Mark Mulchaney provides you professionalism, outstanding service, wealth of knowledge, experience, and reliability. Mark Mulchaney and Power Realty, the power to move you. 610-433-6600 or on the web at powerrealtyhomes.com.
Dennis Love, Chris Michael back in caddy. Start of the second quarter. Notre Dame turns the ball over on their first possession. Steve Yost checks in for caddy, 5'10" junior guard, averaging 1 a ball game. He's just coming off of missing 6 weeks with mononucleosis. He's playing in just his 6th ball game of the season. There's a steal by Palumbo. Salerno now with a basketball. Palumbo from the baseline takes the rebound. Notre Dame 6 of 10 shooting. Caddy 6 for 15. Nice fast break converted by Joe Teamy at the other end for the Rough Riders. Joe is the cousin of Liberty's Aaron Teamy, who's been playing very well for the Hurricanes this year.
He not only did a great job catching that ball, Chris, but to finish it, he had little room for error, and he got it up on the glass and in.
Salerno's shot was blocked by Case, who chases down the loose ball. Bastidas also back in during that last stop. And a steal by Connor Hughes. The freshman has a rebound and a steal. And now traveling violation.
Just watch the margin for error. Catches it. I mean, these big guys aren't used to this.
And almost an instant replay back to the action. Adam Bastidas leaking down court and getting a tough catch and then converting the layup. Almost handcuffed Bastidas, but he made sure he got the ball down before he got called for the travel, as Salerno answers back with a triple at the other end.
You give Salerno any kind of room, and he's firing. And his range is pretty much unlimited here.
Snyder open for 3. Rebound by Max Hughes. Hughes misses from the baseline. Case the rebound.
Case and Hughes, for their respective teams, leading with 5 rebounds apiece.
And Giambiobi and Hughes lead the Crusaders with 5 points each. Huerta and Case have 6 each for the Rough Riders. Here's a look at the catch and layup by Adam Bastidas on the break a moment ago.
They are getting opportunities against Notre Dame that Notre Dame usually gets against their opponents. They're giving them a taste of their own little medicine here early in this ball game.
Giambiobi and Dawson both return for Notre Dame and Catasauqua. See if the Crusaders go inside. Right now it's Falco matched up with Giambiobi. And we have a reach-in foul on Falco. This is Nathan Falco, the sophomore. He picks up his first, team's 3rd.
And the younger brother of Kevin Falco, and he's in there and got a nice body on him, and he went in there with the intention, and he is not going to back down from Giambiobi.
Salerno hits again from the outside, his 2nd 3-pointer, as Piazza returns to the floor for Notre Dame, replacing Palumbo. Caddy will have it back, knotted at 20 apiece. Dennis mentioned early on, we're not sure how much each coach would show in this ball game, but we have a competitive game through the first 11 and a half minutes. Probably one of the best games I think we both saw last year was Caddy's game in the league playoffs up in Bangor. Did not go the way as the Rough Riders wanted in terms of the final outcome right at the end of the ball game, but it's just a spectacular playoff performance. Here's the sophomore Nathan Falco underneath, getting the layup and in. Caddy now up by 2.
Off a fine feed from Todd Dawson, who his penetration got it to Falco, and Falco an almost impossible layup.
Giambiobi was open for a second, still gets a pretty good look and spins it home. He's leading Notre Dame with 7. Giambiobi 3 of 4 from the floor. Bastidas to Kevin Falco. And now Huerta from long distance. Rebound by Nathan Falco. Huerta dipping inside, trying to arc that ball over the much taller Giangiobi. Huerta at 5'5", Giangiobi at 6'3". So Caddy will have it back underneath their own basket as Josh Case returns to the floor for the Rough Riders. And Max Hughes back on for Notre Dame.
What we are seeing tonight is a lot of wide open basketball.
It's Huerta with a hand in his face, and he gets knocked to the floor after taking the shot. And will go to the line for 3.
Great out-of-bounds play by Catasauqua. Here, Huerta took the ball out, passed it in, and Case come back in and screened his man, and Huerta gets wide open for 3.
Mitzak picks up his second foul, team's 5th. And Huerta makes the first of 3. Corey, a 70% free throw shooter. Caddy led by Huerta and Case. Also shooting very well from three-point territory this year, over 33%. Corey leads the team 4.1 assists and 2.3 steals per ball game. Huerta makes 2 of 3. Caddy back up by 2 as we approach the 4-minute mark of quarter number 2. Wide open is Kohler, who hits from the baseline his second field goal. And Notre Dame gets back in transition.
That's the key for Notre Dame. They must get back and play the defense.
Josh Case matched up that time with Andrew Kohler. Andrew did a nice job defensively. And a fast break converted at the other end by Mitzak, his first field goal, and a trip to the line for one more.
Off the transition play, Giangiobi does a great job looking up to a streaking Mitzak, who gets fouled, and will get a chance for the three-pointer.
Mitzak 44% from the free throw line this year. Notre Dame 64% as a team. Now it's the Crusaders by 2. Neither team has led by more than 5 tonight. From the corner, Falco misses short. Offensive rebound by Huerta. Got trapped in the corner. Ball's loose. And now they'll call a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the home team. Andrew Snyder back on for Caddy, as is Joe Teamy.
Credit Nathan Falco for a sophomore. He gave him some quality minutes there. And the key is they're getting to rest Todd Dawson with those 2 fouls.
Andrew Snyder. Ball still loose. Finally picked up by Huerta, and then a foul committed 80 feet from the basket. That's the third one on Andrew Mitzak. 6th team foul. And David Salerno quickly off the Notre Dame bench.
Yes, it is Mitzak's 3rd foul, but, you know, Pat Boyle does not mind how far it was committed because it was an aggressive foul. It was an aggressive mistake that he made, and he'll take those.
Notre Dame without the services of Blair Rosetto, 5'10" junior point guard. He has a sinus infection. As we mentioned earlier, Pat Boyle calling up the freshman Connor Hughes to fill his slot. As Case hits his second three-pointer to give Caddy, actually they call that for a 2-pointer, so that ties things up to 26 apiece. Hughes, outside for Salerno. Case, good position inside for the rebound. And Salerno back hustling, pokes that ball away, preventing the fast break layup.
Chris, I think it's the last time I'm going to talk to Eric Snyder about his team. He talked about Josh Case, and he said, you know, he's really struggling with his outside shot, and here he is tonight. He, you know, nails a couple of three-pointers. So much for talking to these coaches before the game.
8 points overall. He sided with Huerta for the Caddy lead. Rough Riders turn it over. Bastidas back on for Catasauqua. Evan Falco to the bench. Speaking of coaches, Pat Boyle came over and delivered a message that...
let's not get into the message.
Inside spin move by Kohler, draws the foul. Oh, I've already teased it. Now I have to talk about it.
Oh, my God.
Next Thursday, when he and Eric Snyder are on the show, he has already said there will be at least one Notre Dame caller, and that will belong to Jeff Knappenberger, who does a solid, and he said, I mean solid, Dennis Lobb impersonation. So it'll be interesting to see who gets more calls on that show, the Boyles Bunch or Eric Snyder's troop. And I know a lot of Caddy people normally call in.
Yes, they do. They do. And Eric is usually one of those callers or somebody from his family.
He's got some prize tickets from us.
Yeah.
A few things.
He does like the show, no question about it. Boyles Bunches, they are faithful.
Kohler makes 1 of 2 at the free throw line. The Caddy turns it over. Evan Falco quickly back into the ball game for the Rough Riders. Max Hughes, the team's leading scorer, bringing the ball up, picked up by Corey Huerta. That's outside his range. Inside look, nice layup by Andrew Kohler, using those long arms to get points 6 and 7 tonight.
That time he gets it off the inside moves. Usually he's a mid-range shooter.
Bastidas hitting from the outside. Caddy trailing by 1. Notre Dame. Hughes got stripped by Huerta. Caddy with a chance to take the lead going into the locker room. Josh Case, second effort, gets the roll. Needs a double figures with 24 seconds remaining.
You have to credit number 10, Adam Bastidas, with a fine assist to Case on that play.
Kick ball, Notre Dame will re-inbound, 7.1 seconds left.
Returning to Catasauqua, number 11, Nate Falco.
Nate Falco back into the ball game. Max Hughes, tied up by Huerta. Heaves it. Off the rim, no good, and that will do it for the first half. An entertaining first half, back and forth we've gone. Andrew Kohler facing the Crusaders with a tied for team-high 7 points. Josh Case, the leading scorer for the Rough Riders with 10. Take a break and be back with first half numbers and highlights after this.
The Lehigh Valley loves Mezzaluna Sports Bar and Grill, with sports for fans of all shapes and sizes. Plus a huge selection of ice-cold beverages. And of course, Mezzaluna's menu of great food. And with Mezzaluna's state-of-the-art sound and light system, you can catch the Valley's hottest bands and DJs, never pay a cover, and dance the night away. For great food and drink, all the sports action and the best live entertainment and never a cover, Mezzaluna Sports Bar and Grill, Airport Road, Allentown.
Your under-insulated home can cost you hundreds. Now is the time to re-insulate with Lehigh Valley Insulation. In less than a day, our experienced crew of installers will thoroughly re-insulate your home. Our new insulation is cleaner and more energy efficient than ever. Plus, it's very affordable. Enjoy seasonable comfort under a blanket of premium insulation and cut your heating and cooling costs. Make sure your home measures up. Call Lehigh Valley Insulation for a free consultation.
It's comfort that pays.
These days I leave my car at home. I ride the bus, the smart choice.
Atlanta Metro is the comfortable, fast, clean, and low-cost way to make your way around the valley.
Atlanta Metro, the smart choice.
Let's go get Yaakov. You know it's always been the best. Yaco hot dog is known worldwide. Let's go get Yaco'd. The secret sauce is one of a kind.
Yaco's, an Allentown tradition.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles!
Put some color in your world with a new floor from Mohawk Color Center. We've earned our name by bringing style and beauty to some of the finest homes in the world, something Mohawk has been doing for over a century. For the greatest selection of carpet, hardwood, laminate, and even ceramic tile, from a name you can trust, Mohawk Color Center. Flooring made simple.
Visit R&J Carpet Connection, 922 North 3rd Street in Whitehall.
Hi, I'm Scott Koval, head basketball coach at DeSales University. This is Rob Schubach, a junior on our team at DeSales. He was a graduate of Southern Lehigh High School. Today we're going to talk about the fundamentals of shooting. We start with our base. It's really important that you get a good base and that you're on balance. Your knees have to be bent. We emphasize all the time at DeSales catching the ball with your knees bent and your shoulders are over your knees. Rob's in an athletic position, which allows him to get some strength and some power into his jump shot. After that, we talk about your hands and how to put your hands on the ball. It's really important to put your shooting hand in the middle of the basketball. Most young people that I find that are inconsistent shooters take their shooting hand and move it to the side. That's a mistake you don't want to make. You want to put your shooting hand in the middle of the ball and your guide hand on the side of the ball. Next is you want to make sure that your elbow, as he lifts to shoot, his elbow's underneath the basketball. Again, a common mistake for young people is to get your elbow outside of the ball, which leads to inconsistent shooting. You want to make sure your elbow stays under the ball. And finally, when he releases the ball, he's going to lock his arm out all the way and follow through consistently. Okay? Again, a common mistake is to keep your elbow this way. You're going to lock your elbow out and make sure you follow through high. You see his elbow is almost at eye level, which is very important for it to get a high release and get arc on the ball. We believe that if you keep your shot as simple as possible, you can repeat this over and over again. And if you repeat it over and over again, you become a consistent shooter.
Welcome back to the Catasauqua High School gym. As we talked about in our pregame, both Notre Dame and Caddy not relying on just one go-to guy offensively this year. And in fact, as we look at the individual numbers, pretty good balance for both Notre Dame and for Catasauqua.
Great balance, definitely on the Notre Dame side. You'll see that Mitzak with only 2. That's because of the 3 fouls. And on Caddy's side, you'll see Todd Dawson only with 2. That's because his 2 fouls limited minutes for some of their better players. But Josh Case, big first half.
Take a look at the team numbers, too, and how about that shooting from the floor in that first half?
It's something that we really haven't seen, Chris, and to have both teams over 50%, that tells you why this is such a good game that we've had going so far in the first, 16 minutes.
We'll take a break and be back with first half highlights right after this.
To a management committee. He doesn't report to a marketing department. He reports to Mary Johnson's arthritis, to Sally Wickstrom's upset stomach, and to Greg Porter's poison oak. He's your family prescription center pharmacist. He lives and works right here in town, so that means he reports to you. Call Family Prescription Center today at 866-0709.
Taking the time to care, Family Prescription Center.
Welcome back once again to the Catasauqua Gym. The Rough Riders leading Notre Dame 30-29. Lots of fireworks in that first half, and we'll take you through them.
Salerno from Notre Dame, nailing a three off an out-of-bounds play. This, he just took it on his own and hit one. Fine penetration by Hughes. Dish to Andrew Kohler for the corner jumper. There's another mid-range, and here's Kohler. They work him also inside. Caddy off the transition here to Bastidas, and once again to the sophomore Teamy. Beautiful dish from Dawson to the underneath the basket. Nice play by Case, and here he is. What we saw last year's his long-range game, but he can also do it inside. Banging the boards, has 7 boards the first half.
Caddy leads 30-29. Both teams in first place in their division. Notre Dame tied with Wilson with a 12-2 record. Caddy alone in the West Division at 12-6. Catasauqua win or a Northern Lehigh loss the rest of the way during the regular season. And Caddy, of course, will clinch its berth in the Colonial League playoffs. Time for the R&J Carpet trivia question. How many Colonial League teams qualified for the district playoffs last season? And for Dennis, he has to name them since he's looking at the answer.
I'm not looking at the answer. I'm looking at the question. Now I see the question on the screen. Okay, I will do this on the back here.
You know, Pat Woe is quick to point out, Catasauqua, actually the entire Colonial League, has represented themselves very well by some victories in the Lehigh Valley Conference and other teams outside the area. In fact, he rattled a number of games. Catasauqua defeated Nazareth to start off the season, but we've had several Colonial League teams beating, on paper, favored teams. And he said the Colonial League should be very proud of themselves this year, representing the league and themselves well. And that's something you're going to explore when we have them on our Thursday show next Thursday on February the 5th.
Yeah, no question about that statement. What really comes to mind is the fine season that Nazareth has had. Catasauqua went up to Nazareth and defeated them the first game of the year. And I know you say, it's the first game of the year, but, you know, Catasauqua had to go up to a tough environment up there at Nazareth, and they came away with the win. So,
and Bangor defeated a Freedom team that is contending for the Lehigh Valley Conference playoffs. And then Bangor just lost the other night in a very tough ball game. And, you know, we go right back to Salisbury, Catasauqua, and Notre Dame, looking at very strong opponents in the 2A level. There's Tom Mole, the athletic director here at Caddy. We always want to give him special thanks because he not only does an outstanding job, but he feeds us and the crew. Forget those other administrative duties. As long as we're fed, we're happy.
Oh, yeah. But he's not just an athletic director, folks. He is the director of student activities.
Start of the second half. Joby inside move. And we'll probably look to see more of that in the second half. It was one of the keys for Pat Boyle's team. Trying to get Dean Giobi involved offensively, in particular, close to the basket. And instead, Notre Dame 0 for 2 on their first possession of the second half.
But the important thing is they're getting it inside and they're attacking Dawson.
Dawson picked up 2 fouls early. Eric Snyder left him in the ball game, and it paid off. He did not pick up another foul the rest of the way. Bastidas. Pull-up jumper's no good. The rebound by Mitzak. Transition, Piazza. And Notre Dame setting up the half-court game. Dawson, a reach-around steal. Does not have the numbers. And we'll wait for his teammates. Caddy with their starters on the floor. Falco, Huerta, Bastidas, Case, and Dawson. Notre Dame also with their starting 5 on the floor. Giobi, Mitzak, Kohler, Hughes, and Piazza. Dawson, the victim of a bump. First foul of the second half. And Giobi will pick up his second foul.
Watch for an out-of-bounds play here involving Huerta getting a shot. Oh, they get a turnover.
Stolen by Hughes. Goes in against Bastidas, puts it up and in. And he's now the Crusaders' leading scorer with 9.
That time, Corey tried to throw it to Case, and he was not in position ready for it.
Mitzak with the steal. Neither team has led by more than 5 tonight. Caddy led by 1 at halftime. Blocked by Case, but he's also called for the foul.
Yeah, I want to see this replay here. We get the shot by Hughes. It's contested by Case, and here he contests the second one, and ooh, well, that's why I'm not a ref.
His second foul. First team fouls. Mitzak makes the first of 2. Now, you were praising both Carl and Chris's baseball ability. You can't get on them for their officiating.
I'm not getting on anybody, Chris. I'm just saying it's good I'm not an official, and it's good I'm not a coach, too.
As the former big man. By the way, you made a rare error last week when you said I cannot critically comment on your playing because I didn't see you. I have seen you. I started watching in '81. Now, if you had said there was not a free throw that I saw you make, then you have an argument. Case working inside. He now has 12. And Caddy back within 1. And Caddy steps in front of a pass intended for Andrew Mitzak. All right, no more free throw numbers the rest of the year. Won't even mention.
That sounds good to me.
Stepping up is Huerta from the outside. That's his 3rd three-pointer. And Caddy back up by 2.
They are just playing more aggressively right now than Notre Dame.
And Giobbi misses from the outside. The rebound by Falco. Dawson driving baseline, kicks it out for Falco. Long 3 by Huerta is no good. Offensive rebound, though, by Kevin Falco. Dawson wants to shoot the 3, and he puts it up and in. His 5th three-pointer of the year. He now has 5, and Caddy up by 5. Reach around by Dawson. Stolen back by Piazza.
Once again, I'm going to say, Eric Snyder did not say anything about Dawson being a long threat. And here he is, nails a 3.
Caddy staying in there, man. They go inside, and another poke away by Case into the hands of Falco. Dawson matched up against Giobbi, and he travels with the basketball. That was a matchup that Pat Boyle was worried about, having Giobbi out on the perimeter, and it results in a Caddy turnover.
Well, Caddy's motion offense, they really don't have a perimeter guy, an inside presence per se. They try to just move everybody around into the pass and screen or pass and go through.
He was driving off a screen, and Caddy will pick up its 3rd foul of the quarter. Corey Huerta picking up his 1st. He used to trigger the inbound. Salerno into the ball game. He was 2 of 5 from the floor with 2 triples. Teeing it up is Hughes from the outside. Giobbi the rebound. Up and in. No whistles as he drew contact. But he now has 9. And Notre Dame back within 3. Huerta taking it inside. Nice bounce pass, threading the needle to Dawson. The follow by Case is no good. And Mitzak comes away with the basketball. Up ahead, stolen back by Huerta. Another nice dribble drive move by Huerta. And now Caddy will set up their half-court game. And a reach-in on Mitzak, his 4th. And the 2nd Notre Dame team foul.
Get a look at
this he learned from
Caddy's version of Marcus Haynes here, right between Mitzak's legs. Corey Huerta putting on a little dribbling exhibition for you viewers this evening.
Huerta kicking it out for Falco. Off the hands of Case and stolen by Hughes. Hughes in traffic, going to take it in himself. Blocked from behind by Falco, who also commits the foul.
Hughes on the penetration. Falco from behind. Looks like ball to me. But it's 2 foul shots.
Falco commits his first, team's third. Hughes 65% from the free throw line this year, misses the first. Connor Hughes, the freshman point guard on for Notre Dame, did a nice job. On his first tour of duty at the varsity level in the first half. Second free throw is good by Hughes. He now has 6. Notre Dame back within 2. The correction, Hughes now has 8 points. Notre Dame led by Giangiobi and Kohler with 9 each. Nice bounce pass inside to the recently inserted Joe Teamy. His second field goal, Caddy back up by 4. Andrew Snyder also on for the Rough Riders.
And he's the guy that threw that beautiful pass through the lane. Caddy really playing good, unselfish basketball.
Long 3 by Salerno off the mark. Chased down by the freshman Hughes. Salerno tries it again. Case the rebound. Under 2 minutes left in the third quarter. A Caddy victory would guarantee them a spot in the Colonial League playoffs. Backdoor cut inside. The offensive foul is called on Teamy. That's his first, team's 4th. We talked about after Todd Dawson, they don't have a whole lot of depth up front. They really don't have a whole lot of experience depth in Teamy and Kyle Much, who also does see time at the varsity level. Salerno taking the charge.
Bigger Joe Teamy. For a sophomore, though, him and Nathan Falco are really giving them some quality inside minutes.
Short jump shot up and in by Hughes, now in double figures. And now it's a one-possession game again. Snyder picked up by Salerno. Nathan Falco is on the floor for Caddy. Eric Snyder, one of those coaches that likes to rest his starters right before the quarter, extend their rest time during the break. Falco steps into a 3. Rebound by Hughes. And Connor Hughes got stripped of the basketball. Huerta leading the break the other way. Max Hughes with 5 points for Notre Dame in this quarter. Nathan Hughes loses the handle. Dawson gets it back for Caddy. Now Caddy will play for 1.
Smart decision. They almost lost the ball on a couple of occasions, and Eric Snyder wisely says, hey, we have the lead. Pull it out here. Let's get one good one.
Caddy led by as much as 5 this quarter. Notre Dame also had a lead. Final 10 seconds. Dawson working against Kohler, takes it inside. Kohler the rebound, the heave was blocked. And Caddy will have it back at midcourt with 0.8 seconds left. Officials are going to talk this over and see if Caddy on the block was last to touch.
They can come over and get a replay clarification. Now they give it back to Notre Dame. Definitely got the right call there.
Kohler to trigger the inbound pass. Watch for Salerno. Here it comes. Off the mark. And that will end quarter number 3. Some nice passing in quarter number 3. Joe Teamy, the sophomore, finishing off the Snyder assist. And Caddy leads by 2.
Hey, basketball fans, if you love dealing with a winning team, head to the leader, Kleckner's in Whitehall and Emmaus for the fabulous GE tip-off sale. Browse our huge selection of GE ranges, GE refrigerators, GE dishwashers, GE washers, and GE dryers. Now at Kleckner's, get great savings plus free delivery, free haul away of old, a full parts department, and their own factory-trained techs. Stop in today. See why Kleckner's has been serving the Lehigh Valley since 1945. 2 locations, Kleckner's, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street, Emmaus.
Since the Overhead Door Company makes the original overhead door, the people who install and service them take them pretty seriously. Call or log on for the overhead door dealer nearest you.
The start of quarter number 4, Caddy with a basketball and a nice look inside. Adam Bastidas with a layup off the feed from Dawson.
Motion offense. Man coming from the opposite corner. Recipient of a nice screen and a layup for Caddy.
The way Caddy's playing tonight reminds me of that team they had a few years ago. The likes of Matt Morton and Darren Winch, the precision passing. The older Armelino, that team was very good. To the outside is Case. He now has 15 points. Ended up on the floor, but Caddy, its largest lead of the night at 45-38. And here's a steal by Huerta, tiptoeing the sidelines, and he dips in for 2. And Pat Boyle calls a timeout. Caddy off and running to a 9-point lead here early in the 4th quarter. Time to answer the R&J Carpet trivia question. How many Colonial League teams qualified for the district playoffs last season? Dennis says 7. He is correct. And the teams are Caddy, Notre Dame, Northern Lehigh, Saucon Valley, Southern Lehigh, Northern Lehigh, and Wilson. You peeked again, didn't you?
No, I didn't peek again.
All right, you get credit.
You told me that I have to write them, and I just looked at the banners up there, and I picked the 7. Good point you made about Catasauqua and their togetherness and teamwork. It truly seems like there's no quotas out here, Chris, and they are playing together, at least this night.
Notre Dame with the basketball, trailing by 9. Notre Dame won the first meeting between these two teams, but Caddy right now in control as Piazza misses on the jump shot. Dawson, who hit a triple in the 3rd period. Snyder over to Case, who also hit a 3 in the closing minutes, quarter number 3. Case now inside, tough turnaround shot, doesn't go. And Dawson last to touch.
It was a tough inside shot that he shot, but if he would have just turned without putting that ball on the ground, I think he would have got a better, not so contested shot.
Colombo posting up inside, gets the spin. That's his first field goal. Dawson inside, trying to go to Case, but before he released the pass. A reach-in foul called on Notre Dame. Giangiobi picking up his 3rd, team's 4th. Both teams coming off a Colonial League win in their last ball game on Friday. Notre Dame defeated Salisbury 60-49. As we mentioned earlier, Pat Boyle very impressed with the Falcons this year, a team they might see come district playoff time. Caddy defeated Palisades last Friday, 57-32. Case inside for 2. He now leads all scorers with 17.
Fine assist from Corey Huerta off his penetration.
And a steal by Wilson showing his dribble skills tonight, driving in a couple times, converting on that layup attempt. A double-digit lead for the Rough Riders.
Notre Dame double-digit in turnovers this half.
And a steal or a rebound, picked up by Andrew Snyder. Huerta racing in the front court, lost a handle. And it goes out of bounds. Notre Dame will have it back. Caddy will host Palmerton on Friday. It's a special Hall of Fame night here at Catasauqua High School gym. They will play the other three teams in the West. Notre Dame, of course, also will have the other three teams in their respective division as Andrew Kohler lays it up and in. He now has 9. Notre Dame in the much tougher division in that East. Matched up with Bangor on Friday. We'll have that game live on RCN. Another nice execution. Dawson to Case inside. Case now with 19 points.
Beautiful execution of the old backdoor play. Case faked outside. Dawson pump faked. He went right to the basket and nailed him, and Case finished.
Notre Dame will finish their regular season matched up against Wilson. The Warriors, of course, looking for revenge after that ball game that we saw up in Notre Dame. Giangiobi now in double figures for Notre Dame as they now trail by 9. Case's first miss in the last 3 attempts. Salerno open from the wing. His third three-pointer. That blow calls for a timeout. 3 minutes, 27 seconds left. Catasauqua leading 53-47. We invite you to tune in for the RCN Sports Talk Show Thursdays at 6 p.m. We're looking forward to hearing your sports opinions and questions when you call in. And now you can send us an email. Coming up on our next show, we'll have former NFL players Artie Owens and Bo Orlando previewing Super Bowl 43. Tony Coca will also be on the panel. And then coming up on February 5th, the following Thursday, we'll talk Colonial League basketball as preview the Colonial League playoffs. Pat Boyle and Eric Snyder will be our guests. You can send us your opinions and questions at any time by emailing us at rcnsportstalk@rcn.com. And, of course, tune in for RCN Sports Talk Thursdays from 6 to 7 p.m. live on RCN4.
We want to highlight some of the beautiful assist passes that are going on by Caddy. Just look at the teamwork. The ball doesn't hit the floor. They're just hitting guys in transition to the basket that they can make these shots with little or no difficulty.
Adam Bastidas called for stepping on the sideline after receiving that pass, and Notre Dame has it back. Kevin Falco back into the game for the Rough Riders.
No need for Notre Dame to panic here, because there are a couple of Salerno or Max Hughes shots away from tying this thing, or a couple of inside moves by Giangiobi or Kohler.
Back to a 2-possession game as we cross the 3-minute mark in the final period. Giangiobi back to Salerno, who's open. And Dawson gets the rebound. Huerta matched up with Max Hughes. Don't forget, coming up, Nazareth and Easton at 9:30. Ball goes out of bounds, and Caddy will have it back. Andrew Minczak back into the ball game for the Crusaders.
I'm interested to see how Caddy plays this down the line here. They have the lead, and they got it that way with their aggressiveness on offense. Now, do you pull back the aggressiveness and try to take some time off the clock with the lead?
Kohler hitting from the corner. He's now in double figures, and it's back to a 4-point ball game. Eric Snyder calling for a 30-second timeout. 2 minutes, 8 seconds left in the ball game. Caddy leads 53-49. right now looking at the District 11 2A race. Notre Dame, Salisbury, Caddy, the top three teams. Tri-Valley has already clinched the district playoff spot, and then most probably Schuylkill Haven and Minersville will be the other two teams in 2A. And if, in fact, they do clinch the playoff berth, then the top two teams will have a bye week and about a week in between to prepare for their upcoming opponents.
And it's also a good opportunity for them to scrimmage and also get in some of those special situations that you might find in the playoffs. So that week rest really will help.
And Pat Boyle said a huge advantage. That's why he wouldn't say that he was going to hold back in this ball game, because obviously they're still playing, both teams are still playing for district positioning. Huerta aligns with Hughes, and they're going to call Hughes with a foul. 15th foul on Notre Dame. Tomorrow night, weather permitting, we'll have high school wrestling coming your way. Nazareth and Northampton squaring off. Dawson to Case, who finishes and will go to the line for one more. Case coming off a 19-point performance against Palisades on Friday with 21 tonight.
Credit Todd Dawson. He could have got double teamed in the corner there and been in big trouble, but he spun out of it, found an open Case, and Case goes strong to the basket and gets fouled.
Case currently leads the team in points per game, rebounds per game, blocks, and steals. And is also leading the team in free throw shooting. Timeout on the floor, 1 minute 42 seconds left. Andrew Mitzak fouling out of the ball game with just 2 points. Pat Boyle using the time to find a replacement.
Checking in the Crusaders as well as number 10, Bart Palumbo.
Check that Mitzak with 4. He had a great ball game against Wilson when we saw them up at Notre Dame. 19 points.
How
And
about
a comeback victory for the Crusaders that night.
Yeah, he really stepped up that night. Tonight, he just never really got in the groove because of his foul difficulty. They took some of his aggressiveness that he brings to the table away by the fouls.
Gene Giobbi looking inside. Kohler, the bump. Shot no good, and Case the rebound. And he draws the foul. 6th foul on the Crusaders. More of the Rough Riders will go in the bonus.
His first, team's 6th.
Caddy leading by 7. Notre Dame won the first meeting between these teams. Caddy and Notre Dame might see each other in 2 weeks in the league playoffs, and then possibly again in the district playoffs, as Huerta is now fouled and will go to the line. Gene Giobbi picking up his 4th foul. And Huerta, who's 2 of 3 from the line, will go to the stripe and shoot the 1-and-1.
You talked about that earlier meeting between these two teams. It really was a decisive Notre Dame victory over at Green Pond there. They won the battle of the boards that night, and Caddy just shot very poorly. Eric Snyder said one of the keys to tonight's ball game is better shot selection. And by the way they've ran the offense tonight, Chris, they definitely got better shot selection in this game, so they cleaned up that end of the game.
David Salerno and Joe Birdie checks into the ball game, both solid perimeter shooters. And Huerta makes the 2nd one. Back to a 9-point Rough Rider lead. Inside look for Kohler. And a quick timeout called by Pat Boyle. 1 minute, 8 seconds remaining. And a 7-point Catasauqua lead.
Take a look at Notre Dame's last bucket. Beautiful feed. Hughes to Kohler. Quick timeout. Now Pat Boyle's looking for a steal. If not, he's got to foul and hope that Catasauqua misses so that he can get his possession back. Upon his possession, he's got to try to look to try to narrow the score down, possibly by getting Dave Salerno a good look at a three-point shot.
Well, you also have to handicap how many calls Eric Snyder's fan club is going to call next Thursday and Boyle's one. Because don't forget, Pat Boyle's group has those face painting crazy guys that we met up at Notre Dame a few weeks ago.
They scared me right out of the bathroom, Chris. I didn't want to see this face painting in high school basketball. I mean, it's crazy enough I see it in professionals, but high school guys painting. Good school spirit though down at Notre Dame, no question about it.
Bastidas into the front court, ball kicked away. That destroys a 2-on-1 caddy fast break advantage. Huerta, they have to foul, and Huerta will go to the line for the 1-on-1.
Notre Dame foul number 22, David Salerno, his first team's
Salerno picking up his first foul.
Joe Birdie
back in for Notre Dame.
Huerta will be shooting 1-1 for the Rough Riders.
Coming up between ball games, we'll have a portion of our last show featuring the Liberty Football State Champion football team. Players did a great job on the show last week. We'll have a portion of that following our ball game tonight. And then Parkland and Nazareth. With Gary Laubach and Dick Tracy will follow us tonight. Actually, Easton and Nazareth tonight. Parkland and Nazareth will be the Friday tape delay game on RCN. Huerta secures the rebound. The foul on Giangiobi, and his night is done. Giangiobi leads with 11 points. 5 of 8 shooting tonight for Giangiobi. Notre Dame out 2 of its starters now.
Giangiobi coming into this ball game definitely was the key for Notre Dame. They wanted to utilize him inside, and he started out. They got it into him, drew those 2 early fouls on Dawson, but they couldn't get the third, and it seemed to get away from their offense, the concentration of getting him the ball inside.
Well, it was a back and forth ball game for 3 quarters. Notre Dame had a 1-point lead, and then Caddy went on a 10-2 run. Not looked back since. Huerta, the 1,000-point scorer. This is the front end of the 1-and-1. Still a 3-possession game.
Not making it easy on his coach, that's for sure, missing these front ends.
Lerdo, long 3, just barely touched the front of the rim. The follow is no good. That will stop the clock with 31 seconds left.
You got to look at Eric Snyder, and I know how he's feeling, because, okay, we're going to miss 1-and-1s, that's one thing. But then we're going to come down here and stop the clock by fouling. That's just a double negative, but that gives him something tomorrow at practice. I'm sure he's going to talk about the last minute and how we can finish off teams better than what we did.
Joe Birdie at the free throw line, his first attempt from the line this year. And he's 1 for 2 from the line. Case the rebound. And they will tie him up and foul him. Now a double bonus situation. Case will walk the length of the floor to shoot 2. And look to improve on its game high, 22 tonight.
Shooting 2 shots for Catasauqua.
He not only has double figures in points, he has double figures in rebounds. He sat out portion of last night's practice with a knee problem. And he does have a brace on there. I know he was getting some help with the trainer right before the ball game.
Caddy will finish the game shooting over 50% tonight. On the season, they're shooting 51% from the floor. Inside look. Caddy will allow them to take that. Palumbo inside for the layup. Notre Dame with a full timeout, 19.9 seconds left. Take a look at our Yakos player of the game, Josh Case, the junior, hitting from the outside, getting some offensive putbacks, rebounding. Nice job matched up inside with the Notre Dame big man tonight as well.
He really changed his, or I should say, he really stepped his game up this year. Last year, primarily a perimeter, but he had his brother Doug inside to take care of all that stuff. This year, he's getting it done on the inside, and to go with his outside, his ceiling automatically just raised up a little bit. He's only a junior, and he has the size, Chris, at 6'5". Should be fine for them for next year, and this year, I should say.
And that was one of the issues with Case. He can shoot the ball well from the perimeter, but you like to have that inside presence, especially in the Colonial League, for his defense and his rebound. And he has given them that tonight. Slap on the arm by Andrew Kohler. And Huerta will go to the line with 15.7 seconds remaining.
And he blocks his fair share of shots, too. I mean, he's a definite force in this league.
And Bastidas shooting 2 shots.
And it's Bastidas who was fouled. He will go to the line. He's 11 for 13 from the free throw line this season. And as mentioned, Josh's blocking ability. He leads the team with 21 blocks as Bastidas misses the first of 2. Salerno back in for shooting from the outside, but right now still a 2-possession game. So we've seen enough of Notre Dame over the years. Oh, they've pulled off some miracle finishes. They need a quick basket here. Salerno with the heave, and it's good. 5.4 seconds left, and it is a 2-point ball game.
And this is all due to Catasauqua's inability to shoot from 15 feet away with nobody on them. Their free throws, they missed 2 or 3 1-and-1s, and they're blowing the 2-shot opportunities. And Notre Dame, as you said, they are capable of knocking down any lead.
By the way, you see Tom Falzone there. Congratulations to him. He is the new Catasauqua football coach. Former Rough Rider. Does a great job teaching in Whitehall, but we've seen him with the Whitehall football team, and now he will come back to Catasauqua and take over the Rough Rider program. A brief conversation with him via email a couple weeks ago, and he is very excited to get out on the practice field this fall. Get a few more wins for the Rough Riders on the football team. He's also a big fan of that Turkey Day game against Northampton. He's looking forward to that as well. Caddy inbounds to Bastidas. 4.3 seconds left. And what will turn out to be 2 important free throws here for Catasauqua, leading by just 2.
No question about it. He could definitely use both of them here to make it a 2-possession game.
Makes the first. And now Notre Dame needs a 3 just to tie. And we'll see what the second free throw does. If in fact he will end it right here. Caddy pinch, breathing a sigh of relief. Bastidas makes 2 of 2.
They have a foul to give if they want.
Shot's no good, and Caddy comes away with their 13th overall victory of the season. They go to 13-6 overall. They clinch a playoff berth in the Colonial League playoffs in 2 weeks. And they stay in first place in the West Division with an 11-4 league record. Notre Dame falls to 16-3. They are 12-3 in the Colonial League. And pending Wilson and their ball game tonight, they may fall a game back of the Warriors with a Wilson win. Eric Snyder winning his 256th game. An important victory, especially since he did tell us that they were going to hold a little back in preparation of the playoffs. Our Lehigh Valley Insulation leading scorer of the night, Josh Case.
As we talked before, Chris, Josh really stepped it up tonight. A little bit inside, a little bit outside. His boards, his block shots. He just had a fine all-around game for Caddy, and that's a big win for them. Gives them confidence going into that league tournament that, hey, we can beat, this team.
I'd like to thank Power Realty for being with us for the second half action. Caddy trailed by 1 in the closing minutes of the third quarter and went on to win after a 10-2 run extending into the fourth quarter. A look at tonight's scores.
How about Notre Dame with 4 scores in double figures in a losing effort, but nothing really to back that up, with Midsack with the 4. That's the big one there, but, give all the credit in the world to Caddy. They didn't get the double-figure scoring from Dawson that they've been counting on all year long, but they still got the win. Fine game by Case and by Caddy altogether.
And with 2 excellent head coaches here tonight, Eric Snyder and Pat Boyle, it will be interesting what adjustments they make if, in fact, they see each other in the league playoffs and or the district playoffs.
Yeah, I'm anxious, to see what happens. And, I wouldn't tinker if I were Eric, and Notre Dame, Pat, he plays man-to-man, he plays the up-tempo, so I don't really know what they could throw out differently. Maybe a special defense or 2, that's all.
So Caddy wins at 61-57. They are officially in the Colonial League playoffs. Notre Dame has clinched a couple weeks ago, and we'll see all the Colonial League boys action right here on RCN starting 2 weeks from tonight. Don't forget, coming up next, it's Easton versus Nazareth with Gary and Dick. We invite you to stay tuned for that game, as well as an encore presentation of our sports talk coming up in between tonight's ball game and the game coming up, game 2 tonight. For Dennis Lauber, Director Chris Popick, and the RCN Sports crew, I'm sorry, Rick Kehoe, the Executive Director, is with us tonight.
You're going to get big trouble.
And I won't be here next week. Big thanks to Rick Kehoe and the RCN Sports crew. I'm Chris Michael. We might see you on Friday night. Good night, everyone.